Palestinian refugee crisis. This is one of the most complicated issues in recorded history. They are the only generation of refugees not covered by the UNHCR. Rather, they do have a separate organization called UNRWA. But UNRWA not necessarily resettle the Palestinian refugees. This is high time we started entangling this complicated issue. An issue that started a long time ago, but still we see in 2024. So what have been the responses and actions of the world authorities regarding Palestinian refugeehood and crisis? Have you ever thought how a decade-old issue is still alive after existing UNHCR and world leaders? Have the world leaders acted accurately? Have the Palestinians treated with justice and humanity in this timing? I'll be critically evaluating the responses and actions of the world by answering all of these questions. Palestine, the story of occupation, where unoccupied people fighting against the colonialist power. You must be thinking how this generational refugeehood is still alive, because the Western powers want to make sure that their purpose or interest may go through the region unhindered and unopposed through the Israeli colonialist project. That is why they have portrayed the Palestinians in the image of Arab savage and Islamophobia. We also see their unfortunate framing not just object of fear, rather the most violent villain in the Orientalist play. Now, jump into the current Israel-Palestine war that started back in 2023, 7 October. Since then, almost 33,000 people died and 1.9 million people displaced. Surprisingly, this is not happening for the first time with the Palestinians. They have experienced several decades of displacement in the previous history. If we talk about 1967, almost 3 lakh Palestinians displaced due to Israeli occupation in the region like West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem. From 1949, almost 2.4 million people fled to Jordan. About 5,84,000 people fled to Syria and 4,91,000 people fled to Lebanon. These Palestinians are the worst sufferers of Israel's last breed of colonialism. Even they tried to snatch their status of refugeehood, just giving some tagging like Islamophobia, and they are dangerous for the world community. But the reasons behind all of this were hypocrisy, biasness, geopolitical calculations, political calculation. You must be thinking that how they easily left their homes. They didn't leave their homes so easily. They were forced to leave their homes because there were forced eviction, aggressive land grabbing, sexual violence, violation of basic human rights, bombing in the civilian infrastructures, genocide. So it was really hard for them to stay in their homes. They tried their heart and soul, but they couldn't. But the response we get from the international community, that is also unfair. Palestinians didn't get any favor. Countries like USA, UK, Germany, Australia, they stopped their UNRWA funding at a time when Palestinians need them most. They stopped the funding based on unverified accusation of Israel. A time when Palestinians cannot seek UNHCR assistance because they are under UNRWA's jurisdiction. This unfair situation and contradictory actions will be more clear if we go for country-wise analysis. US. We see US's unwavering economic and military support for Benjamin Netanyahu and his government. We also see his country is voting for non-binding resolution, and that explicit strong backing for Israel. UK, in the parliament, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is expressing his utmost condolence and concern for the people in Gaza. But in the question of permanent ceasefire, his government is showing excuses. Another country which is doing some contradictory actions, that is Australia, is doing $1 million arms trade. But in the time when his own people, an Australian, is embracing death in Gaza, his country is asking for accountability to Israel. So you have seen how hypocrites are behaving here. Last but not the least, most importantly, Egypt, a country which shares border in the Rafah crossing with Palestine, a country which can help the Palestinians directly, but they are also afraid because if they let the Palestinians in, they'll never return home. So in the broad daylight, Israel is committing war crime after war crime, but not accountable to international law or international community. Rather, the international community is calling Israel friend and continuing business, a time when they should put sanction, hold accountability, and shut down business. What they actually did in the time of Russia-Ukraine war, they put sanctions and stopped business with Russia, and even recognized the Ukrainians as refugees. So, in the contrary, it can be said that humanity is wavering. The international politics and geopolitics is based on national interest and personal interest. And the role of IGOs and world leaders changes based on their personal interest. Thank you.